Hey everybody, it's Jimmy and Matthew back again for another Not Network podcast. Today, we are going to be talking to an art director over something new. Literally, he's an art director over a company called Something New. His name's Jake Casson, and hope you enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the Not Network podcast, me and Matthew have the pleasure to talking to the tweeting master, motion designer, the grandson of Big Bad Bob, Mr. Jake Casson. Having worked at a top-notch American restaurant, Applebees, he patiently and enthusiastically learned the ways of motion in Cinema 4D and Illustrator. Now a motion designer, having done work for Medium, Google, Oculus, and even David Webb. Jake likes Vine, taking selfies, and homemade lunch sandwiches. This includes, but is not limited to, a toasted English muffin with 2 eggs, 1 crispy, 1 drippy, with some lechuga, thin-cut Tom-Toms, pepper jack cheese slices, half for each egg, then to top it off with a twist, which is a raspberry jam to the muffin and habanero sauce on the eggs. Ooh. Knowing all of this, we have many questions for Jake, but to start us off, we have to ask you one thing. Jake, how are you, King?
That is an introduction. I am doing very, very well.
Thank you, sir. I try to pride myself in doing these introductions, but I hope I hit all of the your top-notch accomplishments.
Yeah, Applebees being the number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. That you know what? I was thinking about that too. I was like, that's probably gonna come up because he was looking like at my resume, because I think I still put all that stuff up there because like I don't care. Like, what does it matter now? Like it's like that I have it up there. You know, just like yeah. And it was it was a pretty pivotal part in my like realization of like how of like how I like didn't want to be doing that anymore, you know, like so I think, and that's also probably another reason why it's still up there.
Tell us the story.
Please.
How did you get into Applebee's and why was it this pivotal crux moment?
It was more of getting into I guess just like the culinary arts and like cooking, like in being like in the back like line cook stuff like that, and like starting there and like having a job, and like I felt like I was doing like pretty good at it, but I was like I just kept every night because we close at like 3 or whatever, because that's like when we go home. It was just like I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to sweat every day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like props to the people who like work in restaurants, because like it is fucking hard. I mean, sorry,
it is.
It is very hard. And but like I just felt like it was just wasn't for me, you know? Like, and that's kind of where I wanted to go. I was like, oh, like I wanted to be a chef and I wanted to cook. Like that was my thing. And I like thought like I worked in all these different restaurants that, you know, eventually I could get into like the Culinary Institute of America, and then like pursue being a chef. Like that was like my thing, because I worked at a golf course during the summer doing cooking, like Friday night dinners. So it was like a little bit more, I wouldn't say like high class either. It was a public golf course. Let's be honest here. But still, like any experience is a good experience, you know? So I feel like I was just like, oh yeah, like if I did all these things, like I could get into something else. But I also loved going to shows. I loved supporting like art, and just like, I don't know, I've always just been into design in general. And just like was like, oh, there's some like correlation here, you know, like there's a lot of things in the process of like cooking, and like how you prep all of these things before you like make the thing to send out to the customers and whatever. Like they're like same processes, you know, and same kind of like creativity. Like you can because they gave me a lot of freedom at the golf course. They're just like, yeah, like you can just like do what you want and like make up the menu and like we can kind of work with like what we have and whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. So I was kind of like in charge of that.
Shoot.
Um,
So where was this golf course located?
so I'm from upstate New York, from this small town called Cortland, New York.
Mm,
Um, and so it was in Cortland, or Cortlandville. It's like kind of like not the outskirts, but there's like three golf courses like in that area. And
right.
I worked at one of them that like my mother worked at, my brother, and like my whole family was basically up there working. My stepdad was in the pro shop. You know, it was like
Oh wow.
Nice.
my cousin was the semi pro there. So it was kind of
Oh,
like everyone was there. So like let's
yeah.
just get after it. Um and but I was the only one that was like doing not golfing things. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
like in the kitchen, like making the food and like setting up for tournaments and like grilling like 100 steaks for like when they all come back from the tournament and like you like basically set up like plates for everybody basically. Uh
Amazing. So
yeah.
I got a question. What started on this path of food and cooking? Because you're right. When I look at food and when I was, when I graduated high school and I was looking for jobs, I was like, food, like I like food too. So I went to
Yeah.
work at like a bunch of restaurants and trying to fall in love with the process, but it's like you were saying, it's hard. Like you're working with like, hot grease, sometimes the fans don't work in the back, and so you're like sweating bullets and
Yeah.
you're got these orders that are late and you're trying to cook the meat to a certain temperature, make sure
Yep.
that's hot when it comes out, and also presentable. You can't have shit looking food because it's all about presentation when it gets out.
Yeah.
There's only a certain amount of leeway you get. So did your mom inspire that? Like who was the how did it get ingrained in you of that kind of art?
I I would say just like probably my mom actually, yeah, because she was always cooking us meals, and then I'd always be like, like how are you doing this? And she would like have this like crazy printed like she prints all of her recipes she like finds online. She has this like book of just like printed recipes that's just like huge. I would always like try and like figure out how she would be doing these things. And I just was thought it was really interesting. Um and I was like, well, and then I started once they were like, oh yeah, you can't ask us for money anymore. Like you got to go get a job. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Like,
Responsibility.
yeah, responsibility hit. And I was just like, you know what? I could work in a kitchen. Like I could give that a shot. Like I think I actually started working at the golf course first and was like, not like a bar back, but it was kind of like I just went downstairs and grabbed like the beer and brought it up and like stocked the coolers. And then they were like, "Oh, you want to work in the kitchen?" And then I was like, "Yeah, like of course." But they like didn't upgrade me until they knew that I was like gonna do a good job, you
Yeah,
know?
up to snuff for sure. So you worked at the golf course,
Yeah,
and then you went to Applebee's, and then there's
yeah,
like this 2 year period or 2.5 year period
yeah.
where you're working and you're grinding, and then you go off to an internship. So
Mhm.
I'm curious, how did you get the skills and the know-how to? I mean, like you said before, you weren't happy with cooking. What
Yeah.
was what was the jump start? What was like the final, what is it? The final straw that broke the
Camel's
camel's
back.
back?
Camel's back, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was probably seeing my my brother's friend was going to school for graphic design at TC3 at the community college that I went to.
Mm,
Was going to while I was working at Applebee's. So I was going for graphic design, but I was also working at Applebee's. Um, and uh, at the time, so I was there, and then he had left, and he went to RIT. He went to Rochester to go to school, to tech school.
right.
And so I was asking him a bunch of questions like, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing this, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Because he's like my brother's best friend, you know? Um, and so he kind of mentored me on like what I should do. And like, he's like, yeah, I feel like you're really into graphic design. Like, you should get an RIT. Like, you should go there. And I was like, okay. Like, I applied to like a couple other schools. Um, and I think RIT was the only one I got into because I think I transferring in was like a little bit easier, but RIT like accepts tons of students, so I think I don't know, I got in, and
You
from
did it.
there, yeah, I did it. I mean, it was crazy because like my family, like nobody like went to college, you know, like my mom didn't go to
Oh,
college.
first generation.
My dad didn't go to college, or he did, but then he like dropped out and he's like whatever. But like um my brother did, but he didn't finish. So it's kind of like, you know, can he do it? Type
It's up to you
thing.
now.
Yeah, it's up
Hell
to you
yeah.
now to pass the torch.
Yeah.
So then yeah, so then I went to RIT, and I'm getting to the internship part, but um so they kind of like um it had a lot to do with like the curriculum and a lot to do with like who they are connected to, really. I because my first internship was through, it was like I went and like interviewed because they do this like industry day thing where like all the companies come and then you go and you like talk to like I don't know, some reps or like some people that are representing these companies and see what they're all about, and they look for interns, and you have to like basically portfolio review with them. Um, and I got into, I think the first one is Gupta Media
Mm-hmm.
in Boston, and uh, that was my sophomore year, the summer of the sophomore year. Because I was like, oh, I need to like get into these internships and like get this real experience, just because like knowing that having the internship on the resume, but also getting that experience from the internship and getting into a new place, which I'd never been to Boston ever.
Mm.
Like, I was
Yeah.
like, sure, like I'll, and conveniently, my cousin lived in Boston. So
Oh, nice.
I got super lucky and was able to just stay with her.
Nice.
She had an extra room because like one of her roommates like moved out. So I was living with like three girls. It was like my cousin and her two roommates, and then um, working in Boston. But it was crazy because like I would have never thought to do that like ever, you know? Like
Yeah.
so it was like the opportunity was there. They were like, "Oh, like do you want this for like $12 an hour?" I was like, "Oh, in Boston," and then spending like say like $800 a month on rent. Like, oh
Ugh.
my god, it was so hard. Um, like basically just like I was cooking for my cousin every day. You know, like
Wow.
my cousin and I just like I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll make dinner. Like that's chill. Like I'll do that, you know? So I did that like for the whole summer, and we had like a pretty good time. Like I've and that internship was like was it wasn't great because I was making like flash banners and shit, like
Mm-hmm.
stuff that like I was like, oh, like I didn't know that like this would be the job. Like I was like, why is
Mhm.
like I didn't like that part of it, you know? There was like some things I liked about it and some things I didn't.
What did you think it was going to be like
Well,
going
because
to the internship?
well, because they have their clients are all record companies. So
Oh,
like
okay.
Universal and like what is it, like Columbia Records? I don't know, like Disney
Wow.
and
Big
shit like
ones.
that. Like yeah, they're just like all of the record companies, and they do all of the ads for everything. Um uh that you would see online, like all digital
Mm.
ads.
Mhm.
Um and but they also did these really cool lyric videos. Um so like I worked on a couple lyric videos that really helped, I don't know, just me just get better at motion in general and everything because they were out like basically you have to pitch these ideas to the clients like, oh, we have these three ideas, and then they come back and like they're like, oh, like these aren't that great, like we're gonna do something else. But like, you know, they'll pick one, and then you'll, instead of doing a music video, you do more of like a visual thing, and it's like typography treatments like throughout the whole thing.
Ooh.
um so it's that was like pretty pivotal in like my growth in like motion and 3D and uh um yeah, just like treatments in general, you know.
So what did
um
that lead to, that internship? Like what happened after that or as a result of it?
um so I don't know. I mean, I think I took a lot from that, and then like went back to RIT, and as a junior, I was like, oh, okay, like now what? Or was it junior year? My God, I can't even remember.
Sometimes it just
Um,
blurs together.
Right.
It melts, you know. I mean, you were
so
learning
bad
so
times.
much. You were learning so much, and you were also going to school, and you were working. I mean,
Yeah.
I
New
mean,
place.
yeah, yeah. New place. Can't blame you for just like it all meshing together. You were having fun too.
Yeah.
What kind of this is my question. I'm so curious because I go into Cinema 4D a lot.
hmm
What was the inception to Cinema 4D, and what brought you kind of what pulled you towards a 3D space rather than a 2D, just from learning from your bro's friend?
Um, I don't know. I think actually it might have been uh it was actually when I was going to TC3 for graphic design.
Hmm.
Um, there was some poster project that we did, and it was like create a poster for I don't even know what it was. It was like for a company or some website that you see online or something. I was like, okay. So I found this company called, I think it's called Imaginary Forces. I might
Yeah,
be
imaginary
wrong.
forces. That's it.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, these guys like they make like commercials, and like it was so different, and like they did these cool like title sequences, and I was like, this is really cool. Like what how this is somebody's job. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, people are getting paid to like make movie titles or make commercial titles or make
Just
it's
dope shit. Yeah.
just dope stuff.
Dope,
I was
dope
like,
shit.
how do you do this? Like all this like crazy like particle systems and like notion like all this stuff. Um, it was just like super interesting. And I didn't know how to do any of that because I was just doing all flat stuff, and I just like made this like cool poster, and I was like, oh wow, like that's like th- it was so much different than what everyone else did, and I was just like, okay, like maybe this is something that is I could do and I could pursue and I could work in like a big city and get paid for, hopefully. Like that was the kind of the thought there.
That's a really inspiring thought to hear. Like you notice something on like TV or like in movies or just anywhere, and you're like, wow, someone really gets paid to do that. I wonder if I could be one of those people, or I wonder like how that thing gets done, because a lot of people just like consider these I don't even know how to consider it, just like I don't know, regular type of job career pathways, and
Mhm.
then they don't even think about like all the other facets of our economy where things get done, where you don't even realize that someone like, oh shit, someone actually like made that, or someone actually
Yeah.
did this thing or that thing, and then you felt inspired enough to actually learn how to do it yourself. I think that's a really neat thought.
Yeah. And a lot of it came, and then like once it was crazy because as soon as I got to RIT, that was like, and it was the first class that I had. It was a Cinema 4D class, and they're like,
No
uh,
way.
yeah, and I was just like, what? I was like, oh, we're learning a 3D pro. I thought this was like I'm doing like apps. I thought I was gonna be working on like apps and stuff for the
Mm.
first thing. First thing was they're like they're like make a Lego,
Oh,
like just the brick, like model it, and like that was the assignment. I was just like, okay, well, and then everybody like proceeded to like make it like for the hour and a half or whatever, and then we all submitted to the teacher, and he was just like, he was going through all of them. He's like, he's like, okay, he's just like, he's like, what's wrong with all of these? What's wrong with all of these? All of these look exactly the same. Like, why? And I was just like, uh, I don't know. He's like, well, they're all really sharp. Like everybody had like these really sharp Legos. I was
mm-hmm.
like, that would kill a kid. You know what I mean? Like he's like, this would like hurt children. He's like, you have to take it one step further and like pay attention to those details, and like, because like Legos have like they have like the imprint of like Lego like pushing out of the extruding out of the Lego, like the little
Yeah,
circles
the
on the top,
pegs. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pegs. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was just like, oh my god, like I can't believe that I didn't think of that, or I didn't like just these like tiniest details ever. And that's all that like 3D is to me, is just like all these little like minute like details that you just are fixated on, you know, to like perfect. And I don't know, after then it was kind of like, oh, okay, like, you know, like I want to do more of this. Like that was fun to like figure that out. It's like, oh, like, well, how can we push that further, you know? Like what else could we do?
What's the next step? That's
Yeah.
great. That's so cool that you say that, because we were talking to some other 3D artists, and that's exactly what they said. Is
Oh,
like
really?
they were, it was like when they go outside, they would be like looking at the puddles, like the Dizzy Viper. He said he learned off of the rain puddles how to use roughness maps in like a specular material
Mhm.
to kind of create this kind of water texture, or
Yeah.
like noticing the grain on wood. Maybe it's just
Mhm.
like a purlin noise. So it's kind of it's. Do you see like real life in a different kind of atmosphere, knowing what you know in 3D? Do you take an extra second just to smell the flowers and just kind of enjoy? I don't know I don't want to say materialistic, but I guess the physical, tangible environment, or the feeling. I'm curious to know what you think.
Yeah, of course. It applies to everything. You see, like, for example, you see like a flower or something, and like in the wind, and it's like, oh, like, how is it like moving very like subtly, and like what's moving about it, and like why, and like I don't know. There's weird things like flags, how they like, you know, when it's super windy, they have like a certain I don't know how to say this. They have like a certain like
Like the
form.
drift or
Yeah, the
pull
drifts.
that
Yeah.
that
It's
the
cool. I'm
material
like,
moves.
oh, like that could you could do this. And I was just like, now my mind is corrupted. You know, it's just like
Mm-hmm.
and I will also say that I feel the same exact way about um design in general. Because uh so let me also just say this too.
Say it.
I pivoted from being like a 3D guy, 3D motion guy, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm now like an art director at something new.
Right.
So like my job now, from like when I first started, I thought that I was going to be just doing motion, and I was going to, you know, be doing 3D and motion graphics. Um, and that's not even my job now. Like I don't even do that anymore. Um,
That's wild.
which is wild.
Yeah.
But those same like thoughts of like seeing those details of like what you would want, like what you could do in 3D. I see the same exact thing for design. Like especially in New York, because it's so like prevalent, like anywhere you go, like there's billboards, uh there's just like cool old signs on like old bodegas and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like that have like, you know, old typography and like this and that. Like everything is like so designed. So like or not designed. Like you know, it's like or it's like it's so like I can't think of the word. Um like you see it all the time type thing. Like you're like, "Oh, I've seen that before," but I like don't know
Interesting.
what that is. Like, you know, but yeah. So I feel like
It all
it
kind of
applies.
interweaves, and it's like
Yeah,
nature and
yeah, exactly.
amazing.
It applies to everything. Like design of like cans and like because branding is on literally everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Like uh, I think of everything like in some sort of design sense now, which is kind of psychotic, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
kind
just
of
like the
like
way it works now.
Yeah, it's like it's rewired your brain to think of, first of all, intention, and how that intention is like represented
Yeah.
into tangible objects. And I think that's really interesting, because I actually just got into design. I've been watching Chris Do. I've been watching his typography class, and trying
Nice.
to get more into it. And thanks. It's so strange, but going from a motion designer to an art director,
Yeah.
uh, I'm I, You're the first art director I've ever talked to. Can you kind of explain like what that job entails of like what do you do?
For sure. So basically, um, so there's like, so okay, so I was mostly like before they gave me like that promotion to be the art director or whatever.
Right.
I was kind of uh, leading kind of like design decisions, and like creative direction of what we were doing. I guess like that art direction of like, um, of product of whatever we're working on. Um, so it's like, oh, like what does Jake think of this before we like send it to the client, and so there's a lot of that, but then there's also like, I also kind of I'm with like I have a team of designers, so we kind of
Mhm.
like, um we're like creative leads in a sense. Like we're like I work closely with like a copywriter and like our creative director, um to kind of like make these decisions, like design decisions and like whatever. So it goes kind of through us that, and then like to the designers and like kind of back up through us and whatever. So we're kind of like the
It
middle.
ebbs and flows. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before anything gets to like the client, So like design will work on stuff. We'll kind of like look at it, or we can tweak things ourselves too, because we're all very hands-on. Like we work in Figma, and which is like a collaborative design platform, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, it's really great, for building anything from like brands to websites to anything digital, doing just layouts in general. Yeah, so like I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this job, but like because it's kind of like it's kind of a lot of things. Like it's like, a lot of things kind of go through me, but I also do a lot of things as well. Like,
Right.
um, yeah.
It seems like when because when I think of a director, I think of like a leader in a space.
Mhm.
And so with being a leader, and actually it's really funny when you started talking about how you see design and everything. I
Yeah.
recently just went to the apps. I was gonna say I just recently went
The
to the
App
App
Store.
Store. No, I went to the Apple Store and I got my like iPhone 6s. Yeah, I'm rocking the 6s still.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
I was
Vintage piece.
I know. Vintage is accurate. Dude. I went to the manager and he was like, dude, I didn't know that people still had these. And I was like, yeah, people do. It's called Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's who. But anyways, I was just like looking, and it was really cool to be in, especially like the Apple stores, because they have design written everything in it. And as I was talking with the manager, he was helping me out with my phone, but he said that he just got on, and being the leader of like being management of an Apple store, like you would think you'd have like responsibilities, paperwork, and all these things to do. And he said, I like to do that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love being a manager, but also it's really important to hop on the box and be with the workers who are doing the work, because that's sort of like a servant leadership kind of role, where you bolster
Lead by example.
Yeah, lead by example. You bolster your team, and your team's going to support you.
Right.
And that's what I heard when you started talking about art direction, about like you're going through the middle of weaving in and out. How old are you? I'm curious.
I I'm 30 years old, and I just turned 30 during the pandemic. In May,
Nice.
back in May.
Congrats. That's dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
that's sick.
I made it. Yeah.
You made it.
That's
So-
like real adult,
Yeah.
Like you turn like 21, you're like, oh my god, or like 18, oh my god, I'm a real adult, and then you like don't do adult things. But now when you're 30, it's like, there's no question.
Yeah.
You're doing adult shit.
Yeah, there's also that existential crisis. A bunch of my coworkers are like 30, and they're like, what am I doing? But like it seems like art director, that's a young age to do that.
Yeah.
No.
No, I feel like it's kind of the right time.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I also don't feel like I'm that old. Like, it's
Dude,
so
you look
strange.
young as
like,
fuck.
Yeah, you
Like
do.
I thought you were like 23 or something. So like, dude, you're having that youthful exuberance.
Oh yeah.
Found
I
a
got
beautiful
that.
video, Jake.
I got a really good what is it? Skincare routine. You know.
Yeah.
That's right.
Plug it.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
charcoal? Tell us your secrets.
It's
Do a quick ad read.
I'll do a quick ad read. It's nothing spectacular. I'm not even gonna plug it.
Like, I just like flush water on my face and then call it a night.
That's it.
Nah, oh man, I can't get that dry. I'll get wrinkles, man. Can't do that.
Yeah, my brother just turned 30 last November as well, and he was real bent up about it. He was not happy. He was like, I'm gonna start having to like shop for coffins soon. I'm like, bro, you're being dramatic.
Yeah, that's a little too far. That's insane. Cause like I don't know, man. Like it's funny. Like I have three roommates. They're all younger than me. Most of them are like 25, 26-ish. And yeah. But I still feel like I'm in my 20s. It's really strange. Like I still play video games. I still play like Magic. I still play like, I still like
Dude,
do like
shout out to Magic.
kid things. Yo, Magic the Gathering is lit and I love it. I stand by that decision for my whole life. Like it's so fun and you can play with like your best friends, like it's just a very good time. It's a lot
How
of
does it
strategy.
go like with the pandemic?
Well, I mean, I just play with my roommates, so it's super easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's perfect. Like it's like, oh yeah, we like build our commander decks and we just like go hang out and drink beers like at our table. It's just like
It's great.
it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty
Nice.
cool like indoor activity. So we've been doing lots of that.
So that doesn't surprise me whatsoever that you play Magic. And the reason I say that is because that it's such a creative game. You have to use your imagination for it. And so being a designer, it just coincides. And also, with video games, I know you're a super big fan of Halo. Right?
Big fan. Used to be. I haven't played Halo actually in a very long time because I'm a trader now and I switched to PlayStation like 2 years ago now.
You're in good company.
Yeah, you are. Oh shit.
We're also
I got
PlayStation users.
Oh, see, you know
Yeah,
what?
that's
See,
what's
I'm
up,
not-
dude.
That's what's up. That is what's up. I'm down to play whenever you guys want. I play
Hell yeah.
pretty much anything. But yeah, I used to play lots of Xbox and I was very good at Halo 2, and I'm not kidding. Because I will stand by that. I will stand by that.
That's the biggest flex.
It was a big flex back in the day. Halo 2, Halo 3 was very fun. I was very competitive at it, but not anymore. Now I just suck at video games, and it's really fun to play them.
Hell yeah. Have you gotten your hands on a 5 yet? PS5?
Actually, I haven't, and I was so interested in getting it like when it came out, but then I was like, there's really only like Demon Souls you could play, and what's so much different about it, Like that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know. I'll wait until like there's more games out that I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, like I can get like these 3 or 4 games that are dope. But right now, no, I think I'll continue to play Apex Legends and whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Apex.
Shout out Apex.
Shout out Apex Legends. That game is so goddamn fun. Where we dropping, boys?
Where we dropping, boys? No,
Exactly.
Apex hurts my feelings, so I can't play it anymore.
It hurts your feelings?
Yeah, it hurts. It really hurts my feelings. I get really butthurt when I play Apex. Seriously.
I've never played. What's
I throw little kid rage fits.
Oh, fuck you.
Pisses me off, dude. Like, there's something about that and Fortnite too. I can't help but play Fortnite for whatever reason, but I just like it makes me. In actuality, I theorized this about this earlier today. I was like, why do I get so like angry when I lose at Fortnite? And I think it's because whenever we were playing games when we were younger, all right, before Battle Royales, okay, let's take a time to remember. Let's take a time to remember. Okay, so either you're playing like level based games like Mario, or like I don't know, you can even use like Uncharted for example, and you have like kind of like levels, and you always beat them. And then with maybe like something like Halo, where you're playing against other people, you have like a 50-50 shot ish to win the game. But with Fortnite, you get like
You're so
a
emotional about
win
this.
out of every like 50 times you play. At least me, I'm shit at it. But like I'm just doing nothing but fucking losing.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's what pisses me. I think that's what's different. I was like, that's got to
Yeah.
be the thing that's different about it, right?
Jake,
Am I right about that?
Jake, you have no idea. Every time I come home, I hear, fuck, shit, fuck, damn it. I hear Matthew just cursing, like
No.
yelling at the top of his lungs. We're roommates, by the way.
Yeah,
I
we
just
are.
hear him yelling at the top of
Yeah,
his
yeah.
lungs and just getting so fired up about
Dude,
what are you
It's
so
doing?
passion,
funny.
man. It's passion.
I want
I
to
just-
I want to hear like a rage like compilation like Jimmy just like pulls out like a little phone recorder or something, and he just like
Yeah.
hears you like yelling in the distance, and you just like hear
Yo,
the clips.
I
that-
have it.
Shit, fuck, shit, fuck.
I know.
I have
So
it,
funny.
dude. The movie's coming soon.
Yeah. He's got a reel.
Mm,
It's called
it's
Rage
bad.
he's
Quit.
got a reel.
It's like
called
the
Raid.
The dead of night,
That's
dude.
what's
The dead of night.
I know.
Shit.
I'm a night gamer for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but sometimes I just like to chill out on Skyrim too. There's no rage involved.
Oh,
You just
Oh,
chill, man.
that is a top tier video game right there.
Thank you. You're a man
I
of culture, I see.
I love Skyrim. It's great.
Tell
it's
us your
just
experience with Skyrim.
My experience with Skyrim. I've so many hours in that game. It's stupid. And it's funny because when I got the Switch, like I got the Switch like a year ago, 2 years
Okay,
ago.
Respect.
Respect, right? Respect the Switch. Shout out Nintendo, right?
Shout out
Shout out to
Nintendo.
So like so I got the Switch and I was like, like Mario Kart's cool and like whatever, and like all these other games are kind of cool. They're fine. But then they had Skyrim and I was like, Skyrim's on the fucking Switch? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This coolest thing ever. And it's awesome because like when I travel to like go home, because I just live upstate, like I just hop on a train and I'm on the train for like 6 hours. What do you think I'm doing?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
playing
Gaming.
Skyrim and I'm going through all the caverns. I'm doing
Oh,
the
man.
Thieves Guild. I'm doing
Oh my
the
God.
Dark Brotherhood. I'm
Speaking my
doing
language right
every
now.
little thing. Yeah, it's just like very fun. But yeah, it's just such a fun game. And my
It is.
friends always give me shit. They're like, how can you play Manila Skyrim, which like or vanilla Skyrim, which is
Yeah.
Skyrim without mods? And I was like, yo, I'm not trying to like play the game with like titties out. Like I don't want none of that. Like
Why
I want to
not?
just play the game.
What?
You know what I mean? It's just silly. Like my friends, like not that my friends do that, but I'm saying that like just modding is just kind of funny to me, you know?
I feel you. I totally
Yeah.
feel you. Yeah, it's becoming steadily becoming one of my favorite games. The more that I play it, because I've played it through like twice already when I was younger, and then I just decided to re-download it again because it's I guess that time of year where I re-download an old game and just decide to get back into it. But oh yeah, man, like you said, go into every cave, explore everything.
Yep.
Nothing but fun.
Explore everything. You buy a house and then you just
Yeah.
like start storing all of your dope weapons and like whatever. I don't even know why you do that, but you have to do
know.
it.
I'll
Like,
never
start
use them.
Smithing, start making like glass armor and stuff. I don't
Dude,
know.
everything.
I love that. I love that stuff. It's so fun.
It's fun. Hell yeah,
Dude, you kind of making me just want to play it.
dude, you have to, bro.
I have.
you
I've never
gotta-
played it before.
I know you've got to.
You
man.
gotta
I
play
know,
it.
I know. Right now I'm on Sea of Thieves, trying to install that on my computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of
Wait,
Thieves.
what is that?
Dude, okay,
I've never-
so
Pirate.
it is
game.
a pirate game, dude. So if you've
Oh
ever
my
played
God.
like Sly 3, when you get
Okay.
to be like this pirate, it's kind of like that. But in Sea of Thieves, you're
It's an
this-
interesting comparison.
You're the freaking pirate, dude. Yeah. So there's this level in Sly 3 where you are the captain of your own ship, and you get to like fucking shoot cannonballs in other ships and sink them, and then you get to like raid their ships and like pillage. And that's just, dude. That's just nothing. Just gets me fired up more than saying arg and like stabbing some. You know,
Yeah.
just cruel, dank, treasure-filled ship. It's just amazing. I feel so powerful.
Ah,
It's
so
great.
fun.
And Sea of Thieves is the exact same thing. First person, you know, it's back in like the 1860s. You got islands
Mhm.
and shit. You are 1860? No.
That seems kind of late.
Yeah,
Like
1600.
Industrial Revolution.
I was
yeah.
like, shit. Like, what am I thinking? I'm thinking of like old Caribbean, you know?
yeah.
Okay. I need to get my timelines right. But yeah, it's so fun. I've only seen people play it. Like I said, I'm still trying to find a way to install it on my computer.
Yeah.
It was a gift to me, and
There you go.
I just need to redeem it.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. One thing, it's a lot of fun with if you have a lot of friends to play with, because our ship started to get sunk, and you have to like physically take out buckets and like go down into the hull
Hell yeah,
and
dude.
grab buckets of water and throw them
That's called
overboard.
fucking work,
And
dude.
everyone's just like screaming and running like with like chickens with their heads cut off, and it's just a blast getting your ship sunk for no fucking reason. But yeah, Sea of Thieves, quite the sidebar we've gone on. But I have a question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Since we have an art director on the horn,
Yeah, what's up?
I want to know what your opinions are of this whole minimalist brand logo movement.
Okay.
What's your take on this minimalism that's, in my opinion, plaguing our society?
Plaguing.
You're right.
Ouch.
I mean, I'm kind of I'm on both sides. Like, cause some can be a really nice like uplift of some brand or whatever if they're like really trying to like, oh, like it's a more or less like an extension of the business. Like I think Facebook did it, which because they made their whole like logo like all caps and like
Yeah.
it's like, and then they put that like on everything now. It's like Oculus from Facebook. You know what I mean? Like
Instagram too.
from Facebook or whatever. So like for sometimes like that, it's like oh, okay, like I understand like why you did that, why they did that, because they were like they can't just have the Facebook logo and the Instagram logo right next to each other. Like how do they represent
It's
Facebook
the parent
somehow?
company.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
parent. Like okay, cool, I get it, whatever. And like I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do because it looks ugly. It makes all those logos look ugly as hell.
Yeah.
Like sitting next to the Oculus logo, it just looks stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I will say there are just so many like there's some fashion brands that like totally bombed in my opinion. Like what was it? Like didn't like Burberry do it? I don't know. Burberry did like
I think so.
because they went from being like this like elegant looking thing to like a bit more of a it was a serif I think before, and there's a couple fashion brands that did this. I think maybe YSL did it. I can't remember. There's a couple that just totally bombed. And yeah, it just it ended up just kind of like ruining the character, in my opinion, of like such a nice like traditionally looking logo. Like they could have just updated the old logo to like add some like nice little characteristics to that logo so that like it doesn't have to completely turn into this black bar of like sex, like ooh, minimalism and sexiness. It's like what? It's like what is this? Like no, that's not like you're so like a lot like I said, like it's kind of like it can be done really well, but it can also just be so bad, like and just like just not look great. Yeah. So
Do you think? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm about like I'm all about minimalism in general. I guess like that's literally what design is, and like what like the less the better, blah blah blah. Like less is more. Jesus Christ, I just like. Yeah, like I don't know the main phrase that like everybody says. But like I feel like that is because that's the mantra. That's the mantra of design. It's like it's taking away from kind of like and just like simplifying like something that could be possibly complex or like whatever. Like and I feel like a lot of brands could have just done that instead of making it like stupid and like very basic and looking like everybody else. So
So when you were talking just now, I was getting like I was having an enlightenment moment. Okay, it was like the stars, the heavens
Boom.
opened, and I just saw like God rays just appear. So what I'm thinking is like exactly just firecrackers, Yeah. So is it because everything is turning minimalism because of I think tech? Is it because of technology? Because what's happened, over the past few decades is because of the internet, we have like a short attention span, right?
Yeah.
So we have to make, as designers, you have to make information digestible through an illustration or through, just a creation. So is it
Yeah.
because of technology that it's shortened our attention span that we have to have these simplistic, um, I guess, images to communicate effectively?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like mass consumption, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with music, with everything. It's like everybody wants, like with content, everybody wants this shit now. Like
Mm-hmm.
the stupid like Spotify CEO said some shit about this in during the pandemic. He was like, artists should be making more music. Like, it's like what? Like you're paying them like point negative point
Shit.
like
Yeah.
2 cents per stream. Like
Mm-hmm.
screw you, dude. Like you suck. Um, like 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 just I think yeah. So I feel like a lot of that stuff, a lot of it is just like um it is because of the culture. It is because of like what's going on. Like this I need to know what the next thing is going to be. I need to watch the
Mm-hmm.
funniest thing. All these, um like that's why TikTok's so damn successful, it's like it's
Hate
so
that.
quick. It's I don't like, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it either. People send them to me and I'm like, like that was kind of funny, but like it's
Yeah.
like that stupid robot like it's like I just did the thing,
Oh,
and I'm just like I don't I'm like
yeah.
that was not funny. Like I don't know why you think that's funny, because that was not funny,
Yeah.
like straight up. Um, and it's just it's yeah
Go off,
it's
dude.
the culture now. That's
Absolutely.
what it is. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Do you think that there is a chance, because we're so inundated with this kind of atmosphere? Is there a chance? And I like to look at my one of my mentors, Mr. Gary V, about branding, about branding. When you look at branding, that you either have to have a positive or a
Mhm.
negative to get a certain reaction, like he curses, right? So Gary V curses a bunch, and so
Uh-huh.
he's going to turn off some people, and he's okay with that. Do you think branding or companies are going
Mm.
to have to turn to these, instead of accepting everybody, they're going to have to be like, we don't accept these select few to, I guess, market themselves
Hmm.
better,
I I mean,
if that makes
uh,
sense. I don't know if I articulated that.
it's like, well, okay. So I don't think, I think brands are going to be are supposed to be more or less like more honest about, and more like blunt about like how, like their business objectives. I don't think it's like gonna I don't think any brand should like section anybody out or like ne- it's
Right.
more like it's more targeted, right? Like it's more because we work with like a lot of small like startups, and like a lot of the time it's like we're just trying to find like the niche that is um like we're trying to speak to those people like that need this product, or
Gotcha.
that whatever, right? So it's not it's targeting in a way, but it's not pushing other people out, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's an
Um
important differentiation to
yeah,
to
yeah.
make. If I was to rephrase that would be it. So you're targeting a
Mhm.
specific a specific kind of niche
Yeah.
subject,
Mhm.
and by that default, people are gonna really love you, and then people are going to hate you. Kind of,
Yeah.
kind
There's
of like Beeple, like the shit that he
yeah,
makes.
You want people to feel
yeah.
something.
It's
You want people to not feel nothing.
he's like, look at this bullshit fuckery that I made today. It's like he's like he knows his audience, like, and he
Yes.
is his own person. Like that's the way he is in real life. Like I've met him and talked to him and had conversation with him, and he's just like he's exactly that dude. Like he's just himself. He's this dude from Wisconsin. Like like
Wisconsin.
just some
Nice.
random. He's like, yeah, you fucking Rochester kids got me so
Oh my.
fucked up, dude. You fucking, oh god, I can't fucking believe. Like he just goes off. That's the way he is. But like yeah, like he has his niche market, and like I think um, and that's why I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like that unsung hero type thing in a way. I'm not saying he's a hero or like the legend. He is a
He's
legend,
my hero.
but he's great. Like it's not all about like making money. I think he's more happy that like the digital like all of his work is being like digital work is being recognized
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
going into
appreciated.
NFTs. Yeah,
in the art world. Like that's like that's huge. Like he's the first like he's like, all right, I'll spearhead that. Fuck it. Like I'll do it, you know?
mm-hmm.
Sorry, we just like jumped right into like people talk, but
No, it's all good.
yeah.
That's we've been following him along, and I
We
was so
have.
stoked to see him be so successful. But I mean that's right. I think he's a really kind person because
Mhm.
he gave out 100 NFTs. Or he sold 100 NFTs, excuse me, for $1, and then people are selling them for like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people are like, "Don't you get mad at that? That you only made $1 off of that while somebody else made 100?" And he's like, "No, like that's literally why I did that, is
Yeah.
so somebody else could have that opportunity to make the money, because
Mhm.
I mean, it seems like he's satisfied and he's stoked to do more. Like it's like
Yeah.
ambitious, but like
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know, like
He's
not ambitious at the same time. It's weird.
and I think there's more to it than that too. Like from his beginning, like I've been following him for a very long time now. And I've known him for a while now. And like from the beginning, he's always been he's like, "Oh, I'll make this every day, but I will put all of my assets up
Yes.
for students or for anybody to use." He was making VJ clips for like years. He's
Yeah.
probably still, yeah, I think he still is. He'll be like he makes these VJ clips and he puts like the link to the Dropbox or to wherever it is. And he's like, you can download these files and just go through them and like use all the shit. I don't care. Like like so like he's been helping like other artists and other people like who don't know shit about 3D or whatever, like want to get into it. He's been a huge resource in the community, whether people like his fucking art or not, you know, which a lot of people
True.
don't.
True.
Because they're like, oh, it looks like everything else that all the other digital artists are doing. I was like, that's not even fucking true either. Like
Yeah, you
no,
obviously
it's
just don't
not.
know what you're
Like,
talking
yeah,
about.
it's
Well,
just like, all right, you know, it's like so yeah, I mean, it's so you know, I I have a lot of like love and respect for him. Like he's
absolutely.
like big time, like because and that also helped me in my development when I was in school because like I saw he was doing it. I was like, this motherfucker's been doing this for every day for like 7 years or something, and or like whatever. I think it was like 6 years, like when I started like knowing who
Hmm.
he was. And I was like, "Oh yeah," and he's got his files. So then I like looked through his files. I looked how he's doing curves and animations, and like I'm like, this is nuts. Like I can't use Octane, but you know, I can at least look through this file and see like, you know, all the other little tricks that he's doing,
Mhm.
kind of like deconstruct,
Deconstruct it.
yeah, everything, which is
See the
pretty
process a little bit.
incredible. Yeah.
That's wild
Um,
for you to say that, because it's like when I go to work and I look at somebody else's design from like another company, it's like we deconstruct it to see, okay, why is this pleasing to the eye? And I feel like a lot of creatives kind of do that, and it's awesome that Beeple does that too. I didn't know
yeah.
that until like Manifest Destiny came out, and
Uh,
then like the very next day he was like, "Oh yeah, everything's free resource to use," and I was like,
Creative
"Manifest Destiny?"
Commons.
Yeah, Creative Commons. I was like,
Yeah.
that's badass. Like,
Yeah.
he's a legend.
He
Totally.
is. He's great. And he's getting a lot of like fire for NFTs in general. I mean, that's a whole nother thing too. It's kind of just like it's so bad for the environment. So like that's what I'm saying. Like I have my opinions on it and I
Right.
respect I've even before people was in this shit, I was like, yeah, like I always love what he's doing. I still do. Um and I think he's still trying to offset like
The
you know
impact.
the impact that's happening from the NFTs. Like he did like a really big um
NFT sale that
NFT
like
sale that was
I think it was
all
6 million, right?
yeah, or 8 million or something. And
8 million, yeah.
it went all to like go towards the offset, which is great. And I was just like, that's cool. But so I think he's like I think and I also it's not only just him. I feel like a lot of other artists are trying to get in on that as well and trying to like change the game so that like we can get off of Ethereum or like the way that they do their blockchain or whatever and into something else so that and then like once like a big artist like moves over to that or to another one,
Mm-hmm.
like of
Everyone
course
will
like
follow.
of course everyone's going to follow and they're going to make
Yeah.
another platform for that. It's just going to take like some time.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
the thing that makes it different for this is that people actually like within the space actually care about it. That
Yeah.
it is making an environmental impact that is negative.
Right.
Yeah, they
And
are
so-
progressive.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So-
it's progressive, and so people are working to make a change toward that, and we will happily do that whenever that time comes. But
Mhm.
I think it's, and we've talked about this before. I think it's funny that so many other industries also have a very negative impact, and no one
Right.
gives a shit.
Right.
Like they don't give a shit because they're making a shit ton of money, and people, by the same logic, shouldn't give two shits because you just made like I said, 69 mil on one piece. He's like, man, I could do this shit forever, and I don't give a damn about what anyone else thinks or says about it.
Yeah.
But these
It's-
people really do want to make a difference, and that's the difference. As soon as it's available, it will happen.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's so shitty because people are like, there are some people who are like shaming other people about it, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, then how about you stop taking your flight to fucking LA and back
Thank you.
every couple months then, because you're literally doing the exact same thing. Like
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, and especially and it applies to a lot of people in the creative industry too. Like, because I know a lot of people travel for work and like people who work at like big companies like Google and Facebook and whatever and like those ones. But like everybody can be doing better, and you know, and if I think it's great that like artists are like, wait a second, like yo, we can do something about this, and we can either find another way to like do this or like just so that like we're not completely like destroying the environment basically,
Right.
Sure.
you know. So I think it's moving in the right direction. I think people is like, oh yeah, like we're doing these fundraisers and things, but I'm not saying that he needs to do it, but he probably should be like one of the first people that like make a jump to like the next thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to my understanding, what the jump is that it's called Ethereum 2.0, and what they're doing is that they're releasing because once I heard like it was messing up the environment, like I kind of
Right.
tried to do a little research on my own, and this is a new industry, so nobody has like concrete facts about it, and that's the
Yeah.
thing is that we can't track all of the NFT sales and the cost of minting because the blockchain is continuous. Like it's
Right.
making ledgers like every single second. So it's kind of hard to track that. Like it is possible, but sometimes the research is a little messed up. But what's happening is that they have Ethereum 1.0 and then Ethereum 2.0, and the bridge to make this happen is that they have to release it in stages so it doesn't disrupt the whole kind of process of how NFTs work. And so it's supposed to cut down carbon emissions by 99%. And that's exponential. That seems like irrational. But when you look at the math and what they're doing and what they're trying to move from is like it's totally possible. The only problem is that it's going to take a year for that process to happen. And I think that's the big problem is that nobody wants to be like, okay, let me wait until it's better for me to, make some money because, the struggling artist, I think, narrative, I don't think it's true, but there's definitely everybody who needs more money. It's like that Kanye quote, like what'd he say? Something it's like it's not about you don't have money, but it's like that's the problem. It's about money's not the problem, it's not having it is. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like something Kanye would say.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense, and people don't want this like train to stop. Like it's
Right.
developing very quickly,
Right.
especially within the last like 3 or 4 months. Very, very quickly. It's huge now. Big people are
Yeah.
talking about it. Big people are getting in it, and nobody wants that to like slow down in hopes that this could be the next art movement. And in a lot of ways, I think it is, but like it could really become the mainstream way that we look at and appreciate and create art. And so people don't really want to like put that on hold for a year to wait for this other thing, which I understand, but
Right.
yeah, it's a process.
There are better ways to
Yeah.
do it. Like you don't shit on the artists who are who are making art and trying to make money for it. Like if anybody's to
Right.
shit on, it's the process of how it's built.
Exactly.
And so that's a
Right.
really big thing, is that you're guilting people for trying to do the best to try to survive, I guess. And
Mhm.
that's a big struggle to have. Like I think we should absolutely critique all of the time, you know. Everything can be better. But
Totally.
like why shit on another person and make somebody else feel like
Yeah.
just the crappiest, you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
to your point, Jake, it's like, okay, well, you can point your finger, but like, what are you doing about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What are you
exactly.
doing in other areas of your life, whether you're in NFTs and like the blockchain or anything like that at all?
Yeah.
Like every other aspect of your life, you have a massive carbon footprint, especially in the US.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
every family owns like 3 cars or something like that. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of things that can be changed. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have too many gadgets, dude. I got I got too many things like to, you know, that take up electricity. Like I'm definitely like not a, you know, I'm not great at it either. But I'm trying to be conscious of like how, you know, how much I'm using and et cetera, like in every way. And I don't have a car in the city. Like I don't know. I think if everybody is just like that and
Little
at
bit
least
more
has
aware.
yeah, a little like more aware or just like conscious of
sure.
of the little things, um then things will get better. I'm always
Yeah.
optimistic about that. I'm always optimistic about that. Like I feel like people are always so down about like it's killing it now. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like we can't do it right now. Like we can't
Yeah.
get everything done in like everyone everyone always says like Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? It's like we got
Mhm.
you know, we gotta take the time and like really evaluate how something works before we can like attack the problem.
Isn't that the wild thing? Is that it is
Yeah.
like people say it's the little things that make the big things go. Like if you take care of the little things, like you said, the big
Yeah.
things will fall in place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like let's not stress about the big stuff. Let's stress about like, you know, I wouldn't say let's stress, but you know, let's be more conscientious and courteous about
Yeah.
you know
Mhm.
the little things that we're doing for ourselves and then for the person next to us.
Yeah,
Because
do what you can do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I used to personally like back when I mean I'm acting like I'm so old, but like when we were younger and stuff like
So old,
back in the
dude.
day.
this whole thing about like the plastic straws and plastic
Yeah, yeah.
grocery bags was like coming to a head. I used to like scoff at like, okay, you're not going to order a straw at a restaurant and you're saving the planet, aren't you? It's like, but I mean, now I'm at a point where like, you know, I will like ask them to not bring me a straw, or when I go to the grocery store, if
Yeah.
I don't need 15 bags for, you know, 1 carton of milk, then I don't need that shit. So I can just carry it out with
Yeah.
nothing. And like that stuff, if every single person is doing that, then it really makes a huge difference. And at the end of the day, if people aren't using as many bags and straws, then these
Yeah.
companies aren't going to be ordering as many,
Yeah.
which means they won't be making as many.
Yeah.
So it all really starts with the individual. And like you said, the small things. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where it starts. But I feel like I've had a lot of growing in that area. But I think our generation in general has. And that's really what's going to make the difference. It's a
Yeah.
generational movement. It's a good thing. Nothing but a good thing.
Yeah.
Huge movement. Yeah.
Sick.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
I love I freaking love where we've gone.
Right.
Yeah, it's great, man. I feel pretty good about this.
Hell yeah.
You know,
That's good.
I feel good.
Good.
Dude, that's great. That's all we ever wanted actually. We
Good
just wanted
vibes only.
Jake. Good vibes only, Jake.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Good vibes
So-
only. I told you I'd bring the good vibes, man.
Dude, yeah, you did.
You
I'm
delivered.
a man of my word.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yes, sir. All right, so we got a section of the. Ooh. Before we do that, we got to talk about this.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So, RIP John Baldessari, January 6th, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very great inspiration to me, and I saw, Jake, that you retweeted a video about him. Did he mean anything to you, or the impact of who he was, or maybe just the video of A Brief History of John Baldessari?
Yeah. I mean, not like a huge like I mean, he's a huge influence just in the art world and also the design world and like thinking.
Mhm.
Like like his work was so prolific, and watching that video, like there's like a Vimeo video that like talks about John Bell. Sorry, I think that's the one I retweeted. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, by
Like,
edited by Max Joseph.
oh, dude, it,
Max.
it's just incredible. It's so good.
Immaculate.
It is immaculate. And it was funny because like when I first was told of him, because I didn't really know who he was, but I think it was like when I got to Be Real, because I was working at that agency for a few years. Uh, they were like, "Oh, we want to make this edit that we're doing for this commercial, blah blah blah, like kind of like this, like kind of like this John Belsardi video." And I was like, "Who's John Belsardi? Like, who the hell is this?" Uh, and ended up doing like a bunch of research on him and just like watching that video, and I had to watch it like over and over because like it's so beautifully
right.
edited.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Mhm.
And I was just like, this, it just stuck. So yeah, I mean, I'd say it was pretty influential to me in general, but yeah, I want to kind of know how he's influential to you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so in my senior year in high school, I was doing my art portfolio. I was trying to create some breadth. And
Nice.
so but like throughout my whole like quote unquote art career in high school, like
Mhm.
we were developing things that were supposed to go in our portfolio, and there wasn't really much time, I guess, for exploration. There was, but like it wasn't this kind I want to. And I remember one day like I saw that video and like I just got fucking gassed, dude. I was like I was on a spiel of just Max Joseph. I went on his website and just started watching everything he's created. And it was like even the stuff he's done with Casey, it's so cool. It's just so cool to watch him and these jump cuts and these like old narrative style just kind of incorporated with it. But I watched that video and I started adding like I did the same thing. I tried to add like these sticker dots to like pictures I took or these things. Even this fucking not network.
Yeah.
Our
It's a little
sign.
brand picture.
Yeah, our brand. Like we have a picture of Matthew looking all shy. He's not like I don't know if he's looking shy, but he's just chilling. And I put a sticker on his face, and then I drew a like a face on him, and then I have a picture of me, and I put a sticker on it. But it's like it's like who would have thought to do that? That's
Yeah.
so wild.
Yeah.
And so that affected me. That it stayed. I wasn't allowed to put the stickers on. I was specifically told, don't ever do that again. Once you become famous, you can put stickers wherever you want. And I was like, okay. It's like tongue in cheek and stuff, but
Right.
it just meant a lot to me to kind of like that's kind of weird. Let's try it out, and then let's just vibe out with continuing that on and going through it. That's where I found out, and I just showed Matthew this right
Yeah.
before we got on.
I was enamored. Like watching this video, I noticed I was like, okay, I don't really like want to watch a video right now. And it was like I was like, this is like almost 6 minutes long. Ugh. And we were talking about our
This
attention spans
content,
earlier.
I need this one or 2 minutes. This can't be
Yes.
6.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, can this be like reduced to like a 6-second Vine or something? And it was like, no. But like I felt myself as I was watching it, it just like flew by, and then it was like, oh shit, it's over. But I was just like in it, and I was like, man, that's a really cool video, and it was totally the editing too.
You had
and
an
that's
interesting perspective.
what was my perspective? I forgot what it was.
Were you gonna say? Did I just interrupt you? But like, it was about the narration style and how,
yeah. So one thing that
I want you to hear this,
I
Jay.
picked up on was like I feel like something that I would do or the average person would do when making like a documentary style short movie or video would be like to model the narration after the questions that were asked to the person. So, for example, if I was like, John Baldessari grew up in Rochester, New York, and then I insert a short video of him being like, yeah, I used to play at the park in Rochester, New York. Like, that's boring as fuck. They did, in their narration, they like modeled the narration after his responses. So it was like it's hard to even explain, but there were just like these short little cut-ins of what he had to say, and they were impactful, but it wasn't like overbearing the rest of the video. And so I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but
I think
I
you
really
articulated
liked
it.
it.
It's crazy. He didn't have to say a whole lot for you to understand and be focused. Like he was so focused. Like like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like he knew and he could like articulate in a way, in his own way, but it was understandable to like us. At least that's how
Yeah.
I got it. And I was like, oh wow, like when you talk or like read something about an artist or anything, sometimes it's like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like you're getting a little bit too heady here, that like not I'm not going to be able to catch like what you're putting down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that like he was very real and very uh direct, but like very focused, and
Yeah.
his work was very reflectant of just like of that too. Like it was just like like his
Mm-hmm.
typography,
Mm-hmm.
his like layout, and how he used the stickers and the colors to like kind of
Yeah.
abstract kind of like those images, and of like really old, even I think sometimes they're black and white.
Yeah.
um uh and yeah, it's just like you could see him in his art, like you could, and it was just like direct connection, at least for me. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, like holy shit, like this makes so much sense.
I,
A lot of personality.
yeah, I thought
Yeah,
he beautifully
and the personality, yeah, of course.
articulated and kind of what you were saying, Jake. It's the simplicity in design, and
Hmm.
sometimes we 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 forget that humans are intuitive, that we get things, we get social cues, we get phrases. Like if I say like dog and cat, like you're gonna think of a dog and cat and know that they're animals.
Hmm.
I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about animals here,
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
four-legged creatures, or like there's these connections and that we can
We
make
automatically
from
draw
it.
patterns and
Yeah,
comparisons.
exactly. So
Yeah.
like saying this is John Baldessari's pencil, this is John Basali's chair. Okay, well we're obviously in a place where he works,
Mm-hmm.
or this is his office door. He's building
Yeah.
the setting with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's an interesting point, because I think about this a lot, and I watch a lot of I'm super into movies, Jake, and I watch a lot of like YouTube reviewers and film reviewers and stuff like that, talk about different movies. And one of the things that I've noticed a lot of people point out is if a movie, or specifically a writer director, makes the audience feel stupid
Hmm.
by like over explaining everything. And I notice that in myself too, like when I'm watching something and something is like just way in your face, like explaining to you the plot, or like what's going to happen next, or this is our mission and here's exactly what we're about to do. It's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I want you, the point of a movie is for you to show me that,
Hmm.
And like for example, like if something happens that at the end of a movie that relates back to something that happened earlier in the movie, and the movie like
Mhm.
shows a flashback of that moment, it's like, oh yeah, remember this, it's way in your face, remember this, draw that connection please, because that's what I want you to do. It's not
Mhm.
as fun because you're like, oh okay, yeah, like I already figured that out on my own because I'm not an idiot. But then you showed it to me, and it's like you think I am an idiot. Anyway, I'm getting angry now.
it's it's kind of like when there's those movies you'll be watching, and you're just like, and then they'll say the title of the movie, and you're just like, are you
I
kidding me right now?
know.
Like,
Yes.
or they're about to say it, it's not
Yeah.
like they say it, like you're like, oh, so he's gonna say Total Recall right now, isn't he? Or he's gonna say like, I have a lethal weapon, or like, it's like, shut the fuck up.
It's
Like
too on the
it's just too,
nose.
yeah, it's too on the nose. It's like too expected, and it's just like, oh, come on. Like unless that's like what you're going for in your
Yeah.
film, like like I don't know. There's like a lot of really cheesy old movies, like,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, a lot of the older movies people are making now to like replicate the cheesiness and replicate kind of like that style. Like there's some
Yeah.
like old like 80s films that are kind of like that, like that are being kind of not recreated, but just that basically taking that same exact structure,
Yeah.
uh, uh, and rolling with it.
Like
And
Creed?
like
Are we
you're
talking
like,
about Creed?
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like Rocky. It's like, all right, we know what's gonna happen here. He's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get back up. And
Yeah.
you're like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I feel you there.
But it takes you out of it, and the whole point of going to a movie is to have it transport you somewhere else, just like a book. Like books don't do that. I feel like. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah,
But
100%.
you don't read though.
I do read.
Really?
I do read. I love.
I'm trying to roast you right now. My bad.
No,
But
I mean,
can't read.
I should. I can't read. Yeah. No, I should say I used to read. I don't really read anymore.
He forgot.
But I should read more. But like, I used to read a ton, and I just felt like they didn't do that. And makes me sad and upset.
Yeah.
I want them to treat me like an adult.
I wish I could go to the movies right now. That's one thing
Right?
I haven't been able to do. Actually, I have a question for you guys. Where are you guys right now?
Denton, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Denton, Texas? Are you guys Cowboys fans?
Hey, I knew you were a Cowboys fan. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, someone from New York
Yeah,
is a Cowboys
that's so
fan.
wild.
Like, I thought you had to be like a Giants or Jets fan. I thought that was
Oh.
mandatory.
No. You're forgetting about the other New York State team too. That half of my family is.
Is there another New York professional
Buff-
football team?
the Buffalo
the
Bills.
Bills. Okay. Can you blame me?
No, because they've been like nobodies for a very long time. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
This year they blew up. But yeah, half my family was Cowboys and half was Bills, and
Oh,
I was on
nice,
the
okay.
Cowboys side with my uncles and my brother my brother was Bills. So like my older brother was Bills, I was Cowboys. So we like had to have different teams.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the way it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of professional football anyway, unfortunately. I'm more of a basketball guy. But sure.
Get
Jimmy
dunked
thinks
on.
that's funny.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious.
Like I wouldn't cross you up.
I have no idea what that means.
I-
That's how much I know about sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know much about basketball. I know stuff about football and a little bit about golf, but that's just because my entire family does it. So
Fair enough.
So wait, why Cowboys?
Yeah.
Why is it the Cowboys?
It's America's
I don't
football
know.
team.
I would never say that out loud. But like I don't know. It's just like I was young and I was like, yeah, I want to be a Cowboys fan. I like the colors.
That's a great point.
When I was like really young, I was like, oh yeah, like I like blue and white and gray. Like yeah, it's way cooler. Like red is so lame. Like my brother's a Bills fan, so I was like red and blue.
Stupid. Boo.
Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to flex on
Who
that.
thought of that?
Yeah, had to flex. And it was like when I was very very young, the Cowboys were still good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like so my uncles were always so hyped and they were always like, going nuts at, like watching the games and stuff. And then my brother and like my dad, because he's a Bills fan, were like so sad all the time because the Bills haven't been good since I couldn't even tell you till last year. But yeah.
Yeah, no, about the like I became like a brief Carolina Panthers fan when I was younger because in Madden 10 they like I got drafted to their team in like the my career mode and I was like, damn, these are some cool jerseys, man. I like these jerseys and I really F with that Carolina.
That's how it happens, though.
And so I was like, all right, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. And then I very soon stopped being a Carolina Panthers fan.
Nice.
Because
Trauma?
obvious reasons. No, they're just notoriously not a very good team.
Gotcha. I see.
Who was Cam Newton on the Panthers for a while?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. And then he was on the Patriots last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're apparently re-signing him. I don't know. That's stupid.
Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Jimmy's like, what is going on right
Dude, this is
now?
going like way
What
over
is
my
like,
head.
up? Yeah, like he's like, what is a football?
Pigskin?
Pigskin. The pigskin. The old
Yeah.
pigskin.
Yeah.
So is it really pigskin? I thought it was leather. Like
Um,
cow leather. Is it like Is
I-
pigskin also considered leather?
Like you're not
Yeah.
asking the right person here. Like
I'm just asking it to the world.
Yeah.
They call it a
Is
pigskin, but it
pigskin?
says authentic leather on there on every
like-
single one.
Could you bite into that? Cause you got.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
probably take a little chunk out of it. I wouldn't
I'm gonna-
recommend it though.
Get a little hungry out there on the
Hungry.
field.
I'm gonna cut up the football that's underneath my bed and I'm gonna make a wallet out of it because it's leather.
Ooh. I
got
love a
my
good
football wallet.
genuine
Hmm.
football wallet. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Extra grip. I don't know.
Extra grip. Yeah, you could toss that
You'll
thing.
never lose it. Yeah.
So we are nearing the part of the show where, and this is one that I have not been excited for a very long time. Jake,
Same.
you make me so just fired up to talk about this. It's called Explain the Tweet. And so we went on the
God,
Twitter
please
sphere.
don't.
Yes,
Please
yes, dude.
So
This okay. Can I explain myself before you even say anything?
I haven't said it. We haven't said anything.
You don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
what's
Jake.
happening?
Okay.
You were like, okay, and then you're like, oh no,
Oh no, not my Twitter.
Explain yourself though.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
Well, what's the tweet?
We've got a few.
We have
So yeah, normally we only pick one.
yeah,
And
we try to find the best.
Jimmy was reading some of these to me out loud, and I was like, Jimmy, we can't. There's no way we can not just do one.
yeah.
Like,
Dude, I've been on
these are
Twitter
gold.
since 2009 or.
Oh, we know, Jake,
Like-
how long you've been on
Like
Twitter.
if you go that far back, like everything is like from 2008 to like 2011 or 12 is just garbage. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
not.
dude.
It's
It's
beautiful.
just
a gold mine
It's
is
just
what
like
it is.
it's like lyrics. It's like Linkin Park. It's like
no.
it's like I somewhere I belong. I'm just playing, but it's just a lot of exactly. It's like some really old like dumb shit. I probably tweeted like some lyrics to some song that was just really off key and just not great. But yeah, we can go off Kings. I'm okay with it. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Matthew was like, dude, Jimmy, this kind of looks like your profile.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot because it seems like you're just like, these aren't for anybody. You're just putting them out there,
Yeah, yeah.
and like, you'll do multiple a day if you want to. You have
Oh, yeah.
absolutely no shame about it.
Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
That's you can't have any shame when, especially
Got
when
no
you're
like
saying,
goals.
I'm pretty good at tossing stuff.
Oh, my
8:17 a.m.
Yeah, dude.
May 30th, 2014. So a few days after your birthday, because you also tweeted on your birthday. A few days after your birthday. So what is the story behind I'm pretty good at tossing stuff?
God.
Do you even remember?
Oh my God. Hold on a second, because I know, I feel like I can't. Wait. So what was the time? Do you remember like the?
It was 8:17 a.m.
This is a morning
30th,
tweet.
2014. And to add
2014.
context,
Okay.
Yeah.
to add context, we can read some previous tweets too, because it seems like you've tweeted like hourly or like by day. So we have like a timeline constructed of what the mood was, what you were going through, really.
It's like we know you.
Oh, perfect.
Me
That was
too.
when I put my emotions onto the internet.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing.
Just
I'm
like-
honestly so inspired by these. I'm creating a wall. Like, you can't see it right now, and Matthew can't either because I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, nice.
there's going to be a wall of these tweets and messages
Mm.
that have been sent to me that are amazing.
Okay, I think I remember what I did that day,
What were you doing that day?
because I'm pretty good at tossing stuff. So I said that because have you ever done this, like when you I think I came home from work or something, and like I sometimes I'll just like toss my wallet onto something, onto like a table or onto like my bedstand or something,
Mm-hmm.
or like you toss like
We all do it.
you're just throwing
Yeah,
garbage,
yeah.
like you're
We
throwing
just
shit in your
throw it,
garbage
yeah.
from
Totally
like
normal.
far, like just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like you're walking by and you're just like and you just toss it, right, and goes in and you're just like, yeah, okay, and then you just keep going with your life, going on with your life. I think I did something like that like 10 times in one day. I think it was like the day before or something, and I was like, you know
Damn.
what, I'm really good at tossing stuff, like this should be like a professional thing.
Yeah.
Like I just tweeted it and said it, like I was just like,
I-
yo, I'm feeling this right now, because I've made like bucket after bucket after bucket, and like I am Jordan right
You
now.
were feeling yourself.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling myself that day. So I think
I
that's what it was from.
I love the connotation of tossing versus like throwing, because you
Yeah.
can really get a mental picture when somebody
Yeah.
says like, I tossed something. A toss is like a very specific
It's like very
thing.
casual.
It's underhanded, like it could be like
Yeah.
almost side,
Yep.
You know, type of thing, like a flick.
Matthew and Jake, just
Yep.
for the listeners, are
We're
motioning.
both
this.
motioning what a
Yeah.
toss is, and
There
you
you go.
wherever you are, in the car, at
Yeah.
home, in the bed, just you know what a toss motion is. If I
Yeah, you
said I'm
do.
gonna toss something to you, you know exactly what I mean.
For me,
You
for
know,
me,
a throw
it's-
could be anything.
It's the confidence.
It's the confidence,
Oh yeah.
because it's one thing to think it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
another thing to say it aloud to others, and
Yeah.
it's a completely other thing to type it out, and then the final stage is to just hit tweet. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't go through all 4 of those stages, but you were
Yep.
that good at tossing that you were like, the world has to know.
Mm-hmm.
I was so confident that day. Oh my god, that is just so
Absolutely.
funny. And
love
you know
that.
what? Like, because you guys know this. Like the this is before the bottle trick shit, where they did like you got a little water in the bottle and you toss it up.
Oh
and
yeah.
it lands down. It like lands like perfectly, and you're just like, that's right. And then you like look at the camera.
That's
and you're like,
right.
that's right. I just did that, and
That's what's up.
that's what's up. Yeah. So there's definitely some confidence that day. So
Wow.
funny.
We have another
Tossing
one.
motion.
You're a dingus. This was the first tweet you ever tweeted. You're a dingus, yo. It was at 10:01, April 26, 2013. First tweet. Care to comment? Any thoughts, feelings?
What was the tweet after?
What
if
a
it's bad,
doff. And then you
Uh,
hashtag Gracie, hashtag Mastiff, hashtag Eaton, hashtag Big Head, hashtag Dingus, and then you put a link to
Hashtag
Vine.
Dingus and a link to
Oh.
Vine, dude.
Oh,
This is
listen,
a
listen.
fucking
listen.
time capsule.
Okay. So
We're
I
bringing
was
it back.
okay. Well, so that I called because I had when I was living in my parents had a mastiff. We had a mastiff, and they're like 300. Well, not 300 pounds. They're like they're pretty heavy. They're like 100, 100.
They're the
120 pounds.
BFD, big fucking
Hey,
dog.
They're just like-
hey.
They're just big ass dogs, and they have huge paws, and they're really doofy. And I think I was basically just talking to the dog, but I was like, I'm gonna tweet about this. And then I tweeted the Vine because I made a Vine of Gracie, which I believe I still
No.
have.
What?
Yeah. I should have it somewhere. It's probably on. I keep all my old phones, but like but she's passed since
Rest
then,
in
which
peace.
sucks.
Oh.
R.I.P.
No.
Gracie. She was
Mhm.
a big-headed doofus and a dingus as well. So,
love
yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure that I was just laughing at the fact that she's such a fucking dingus. Like she was such a dingus. Like she's just this so big that like she would run into things, she'd knock shit over. Like you are straight up a dingus. Like yeah, like that was it. And that was all. I was just feeling that day.
I don't know why. That's
That's
just really getting
beautiful.
my funny bone right there for some
That's
reason.
right.
Dingus?
No, just like I love the word dingus, in its own right, but just
Yeah.
like the fact that you tweeted that
Yeah.
with a Vine that you made,
Yeah.
this is
yeah.
just blowing my mind.
It's funny.
Hashtag
was-
mastiff. Hashtag dingus.
Dingus.
The one
What?
takeaway that we can get out of this is the amount of confidence and the amount of wisdom that Jake has in these
Mhm.
tweets.
Oh God.
We can go on and on. Cleaning up the grill, yo.
Yo,
Call
I was
Paul
definitely
Wall,
working.
Hashtag work, hashtag kitchen, hashtag sandwiches.
Yeah, yeah. Throw them hashtags
Fine.
in. I want everybody
Hashtag
to read this.
sandwiches.
I want anybody who's looking at the sandwich hashtag to read this.
They know I'm cleaning the grill right now.
Yeah, he's up
Yeah.
on Melancholy Hill.
Oh, that's that's a Gorillaz lyric.
no,
the
you're a
Gorillas?
Gorillas fan?
Huge.
Oh.
Love the Gorillas. You don't like the Gorillas?
I
You
love
know-
the Gorillas.
Yeah.
Wait. Excuse me?
What?
Do we have beef now?
No, we don't have beef. Me and Jimmy always have beef about something.
Oh,
And it's
damn.
about to be about gorillas.
Yeah, it
Apparently.
is about to be about the
That's what it
gorillas.
sounds like.
Yeah, you know what? You know what?
Damn.
I don't like the Gorillas. I said it. I think they're
Damn.
all right.
Damon
I-
Damon Albarn is really great, and you're missing out because I feel like
You're
I
freaking
feel like-
missing out.
Yeah.
I feel like you are. And I will. I'm confident in saying that. I might even tweet that right now. I'm gonna say you, Matthew,
You're missing out.
At the Not Network podcast is
Yeah.
missing out on the Gorillas. Wow.
Hashtag missing out. Hashtag
miss-
dingus.
Hashtag dingus. Hashtag
Hashtag dingus.
gorillas. Hashtag not a fan. you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but,
Wow.
but no, they're a great band. I they're cartoons. Like they literally their whole
Yeah.
thing is that they have this persona of just being these wacky looking like crazy colorful and weird and gangly and like they're just like strange like a really strange group of artists. And I don't know, I just growing up watching their music videos and um I don't know, listening to from their self-titled album to hearing one of their tracks called that I've ever heard. First one I ever heard I think was "Rock the House" or 192000, which is on their first album or
Yeah.
second album or something. Anyways, those two are just iconic and got me into the rest of them. But I will say, if you got into them later on and you didn't get into them then, or like when they had their those first couple albums, like their new stuff is just it's okay. It's like it's not. I'm not like a huge fan, like mega fan, but like we'll say their early stuff and like Demon Days and uh what's the other one? Um, the Plastic Beach. That's what Melancholy Hill is from. That is just an incredible album. I don't know. Huge music guy here.
Yeah.
Huge music guy here. Jake Casson, hashtag gorillas, hashtag listen to this music.
Yeah.
Spot.
Probably the problem is like I heard they're like radio bops in like
Yeah.
2018, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I could be okay not listening to this.
Right.
And maybe if I gave the old albums a try, then it would change my tune a little bit. Who knows what'll happen?
Who knows?
Maybe I'll become, Mr. Gorilla.
No way.
Yeah.
Mr. Gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
Got to think
that's
like
your
a
new
gorilla.
nickname.
That's right. That's right.
gotta-
do
you gotta
gorillas say ooh ah ah? What do they do? Or they just grunt?
No, they snatch up children in zoos.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you
Fucking
don't talk
rip.
about him.
Rip. Dude, I saw no.
Rip.
It was either it was somebody's tweeter. It was somebody's Twitter page or something that had like a Stranger Things with like Rip Harambe, and it was so emotional. I
guarantee.
Go ahead.
I guarantee you that I tweeted about Harambe's death. So
yeah.
if you found that, then there you go. You probably you know
was
I
probably from you.
respect the gorillas.
Yeah. Well, that kid is why we're in all this shit.
Oh God.
I'm getting emotional now.
I know.
I take a deep breath.
Yeah. We don't like to end these on a very bad note, but
Yeah.
It looks like I guess we're gonna have to.
how can
Shit.
I reinflate after
Rip
talking about
Harambe.
Harambe?
Yeah, we're gonna link the Rip Harambe song just for y'all to have a moment of silence.
Hashtag Harambe. Hashtag
Dingus.
Rip.
Hashtag Rip. Hashtag Dingus.
Hashtag freaking. What is that?
Hashtag legend.
Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Zoo.
Hey, Cincinnati Zoo.
Yeah.
Freaking
That
shooting.
wretched day.
Yeah.
2016.
Amazing. Well, I mean, I guess. Thanks for coming on the podcast, man. Oh, this has been
no problem.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. I'm so glad that you're we were just chilling and we're just hanging out with I feel like I made a friend today,
Right.
which is our main call
Plus one,
sign.
baby.
We're not networking.
We're making friends.
Hence the name Not Networking. So Jake,
For sure.
I'm so pleased to have you on here. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there who are just enamored by our stories
Where can they find
tonight? Where can they find you? What do you have going on? Plug away.
Please.
Okay. I mean I don't I thank you for one for having me on. And two, I guess you can find me at Jacoby on Instagram. I think Giphy it's the same, or it might be my full name. I don't know. And my website, same stuff, jcasson.com, but there's nothing up there but old work. Old work, baby. I'm trying to think of other things to plug. I'll plug you guys. You guys are great.
Shoot.
Come on.
Yo, guys. So you guys listen to this podcast. It's cool. I mean, I listened to a few. I listened to a few like chilling with the boys. Like this is just sounds. It's just really cool. It's really cool. I like what you guys are doing, and yeah, keep doing this stuff because like one of the podcasts that I was like that brought me up was like just creatives talking, just like bullshitting about like what they like and like about how they got to where they were, et cetera, et cetera. The collective podcast with Ash Thorpe, that was a big one. I don't know if you ever listened to that, but it's kind of similar because it's you guys do kind of the same thing,
Ash
so
Thorpe
yeah.
has a podcast?
He did.
Bro,
He's
WTF.
probably still. Yo, if you haven't listened to that, go look up the Collective podcast, and it's Ash Thorpe's old podcast that he used to interview like tons and tons of people, and he would do it like once a week for a long time, and then he stopped. But that was really great because they have a lot of really really great insights. He interviews like everyone from like G Monk and Beeple and like directors and shit, I'm like blanking on everybody's names.
I have it.
yeah.
I have it up.
Yep.
It's called The Collective?
The Collective podcast. Yeah.
Collective podcast. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Man. That's
Yeah,
dope.
shout out them because
Ash
you guys
Thorpe
are
is
doing
amazing.
Yeah, Ash Thorpe is the man. But yeah, I don't have anything else to plug. Thank you, boys. I appreciate it.
We'll plug everything for you then.
Perfect.
In the show notes, so no worries there. If you want to find him, work, his things, his old tweets, they'll all be there.
Holy crap.
What?
200 episodes, dude.
There's a ton.
I
There's
got
a
my
lot
new
to listen to.
podcast, dude.
There's a
Thanks,
lot.
bro.
Start from the very beginning. It's great. Like he has his assistant. Well, actually, he's like his really good friend Andrew Harlick, who edits all of the podcasts, and he's also a motion guy as well. And they work together and then interview people. And I think he actually interviews Andrew at one point. It's really good.
Awesome.
So sick.
Yeah, we're plugging everything. Thank you, Jake, yet again
thank you
for coming on the podcast.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
What is it, almost 10 o'clock your time?
Damn.
I hope you have just the bestest nights. Have a great sleep.
I hope you sleep like a baby.
Ooh, I'm gonna sleep on a rock.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
rock
be a baby holding that rock. Ooh, rock
baby.
Rock.
Rock baby. That's gonna be the next Dwayne the Rock Johnson show. Because
Rock
he's got
Baby.
Young Rock,
Oh, yeah.
and so if that's a hit, they're gonna make Baby Rock,
That's true.
and that's gonna be dope, man. Can't wait.
The biopic.
Biopic, Baby Rock.
Yeah, Baby Rock. Before that man became a tyrant. He's huge now.
Dude, yeah, he's everywhere, man. A mogul.
He's
Mogul.
But yes. Anyway, thank you again.
awesome.
And
Thanks, boys.
yeah, appreciate you. #Dingus, man.
Thanks everybody for listening. We really liked what Jake had to bring to the table. It was really fun to chat with him and just get his perspective. If you missed where to find him, everything's linked in the show notes. So have a good one.